I am officially 4 months today. 4 months makes me 16 weeks. And let me just go over the breakdown of pregnancy for everybody who doesn't know. So the first trimester is week 1 to week 12. So that's like your first 3 months. Your second trimester is technically from week 13 to week 26. So you're about 6.5 months. And then the third trimester is the 27 weeks until you're due, which is 40 weeks. So I am in my second trimester now. And I really wanted to just start vlogging when I was in my second trimester, because for you guys that don't know, your first trimester is your most risky, I don't want to say risky, but your most crucial weeks of your pregnancy, and that's when you're at the highest risk of having a miscarriage. Once you hit like the second trimester, your miscarriage rate reduces like extremely to like 10% than you were in the first trimester. So your first trimester is really crucial. That's when a lot of people don't even know they're pregnant and have miscarriages. So I am actually in my second trimester. So this is my first pregnancy update bump. You guys can maybe see my bump, maybe not. I'm pretty big. But in regards to my pregnancy update, I just wanted to let you guys know what was going on. So it's actually been very smooth sailing with my first trimester. I didn't have any pregnancy symptoms. I was pretty lazy, but that was it. That's like a normal pregnancy symptom. You get fatigue and you always hungry, or you more hungry than you normally are, which is the only symptoms I had. But I never had any morning sickness, any spotting, or anything of that nature. But maybe like a few weeks ago, when I hit the first day of my second trimester, literally I had 8 Culvers. And Culver's is like a custard steak burger place, and I love Culver's, y'all. I'm from Milwaukee, so I love Culver's. So I had Culver's, and I always ate Culver's before, and now I love Culver's. Let me repeat that. I love Culver's. So I ate Culver's, and I got home the next I got home that night, and that night literally, like, this was my first time ever throwing up in like years. Like, mind you, I didn't have morning sickness when I was supposed to. Now it's like my first trimester. I was literally so freaking sick. Like, I was throwing up all night to the morning, like literally throwing up where I couldn't throw up anymore. Like, I was throwing up liquid at this point. And I did have like diarrhea and stuff like that, but I was literally on, like, I felt like I was on my deathbed. I was throwing up. I couldn't sleep. I would have to sleep with a trash can next to the bed, or I would just go in the bathroom and just like be slumped over the bathtub and the toilet trying to throw up, and it just wouldn't get any better. So that morning I called my pharmacist, because I'm a pharmacy technician. I called my pharmacist and I was basically telling her what was going on, because I have to work that day, and she told me basically to go get crackers and Gatorade to get some electrolytes. So I did that. I felt better for a little bit, but then I threw all of that up. Literally, like, all that went up. So it got to a point where it got so serious where I felt like I had to go to the hospital. So my boyfriend, which is the father of my child, that you've seen in other videos, he had to rush me to the ER. So I went to Eastside Medical in Gwinnett, and just FYI, that hospital sucks. Don't go there. So I went there like in the morning time, maybe like noonish. They admitted me. They gave me a lot of fluids because I wasn't drinking water. I was kind of just sipping on Gatorade and Powerade. So they gave me a lot of fluids. They gave me actually IV of fluids. I was in a lot of pain because I had thrown up so much, like my stomach was hurting. So I was in a lot of pain. So one thing they did do, which I wouldn't recommend anyone taking, they gave me a little dose of morphine, which had me kind of skeptical, because if anybody knows or have any experience with medications, narcotics aren't supposed to be taken while you're pregnant. And they also gave me Zofran, which is also called aldosterone, and that's like an anti-nausea medicine. And that's another medication that they strongly don't recommend pregnant women take. They actually recommend like Cleges for morning sickness. So they gave me that too. At the time, I was so sick and whatever, and you know, my boyfriend, he didn't know anything about medication like I did. I just believe the doctor because he said he gave me little doses, and he knew I was pregnant at the time, so I just went ahead and believed him. Long story short, it helped me for a little bit, but my pain went back. They gave me an ultrasound. The baby was good. The baby was moving, so the baby was okay after everything. And I went home. They actually prescribed me Zofran, ranitidine, some stool softener, and I forgot some suppository, which your girl was not taking that. But basically, those medications I did some research on, and that's when I found out that they definitely was strongly against pregnancy people. So I didn't take those. Basically, after like the first 3 days after, I had a little bit of more morning sickness and nausea, and so I took probably a tablet of Zofran a day. After that, they're like still in my kitchen cabinet, my medicine cabinet. I never filled my promethazine suppository because I wasn't sticking nothing on my booty. And I never took the ranitidine because I knew that's definitely, and the stool softener, because that wasn't the problem that I had. I just had a very bad case of morning sickness. But in all honesty, I think that I just had a case of food poisoning, in which food poisoning can't be diagnosed. It just passes on its own, because I haven't had morning sickness the whole pregnancy, and when I ate Culver's, that's when it happened. So that was really pretty much my worst pregnancy symptom update in my second trimester, now that I'm 4 months. It's been a smooth sailing. I've been having a lot of growing pains, which you'll feel like on either side of your stomach, and sometimes like in the middle of your pelvic you'll feel growing pains, and that's basically like your uterus expanding. And if you can see my old videos, I've been typically tiny. I always have like a curvy body, but I've been tiny, and my stomach never, well, when I was younger, but in the recent years, never been this big. So my uterus expanding, it hurts. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. It hurts. It's like sharp, like somebody's like stabbing you, kind of like sharp pains, but those are pretty much growing pains. I'm a doctor freak, so anytime basically I feel something and I don't like, I go to the doctor. But the baby's been okay every time. So my recommendation for anyone going through these things is to get your doctor to prescribe you Diclesius, because that's the safest anti-nausea medicine that pregnant women can take. And to drink a lot of fluids and stay hydrated also is another recommendation. But my update for 4 months is she's getting big. Haven't felt kicking at 16 weeks. But I feel like a little couple flutters, and those are basically baby movements. If you feel like flutters, you think like gas, but it's not gas, and like your stomach growling, most times those are often the baby movements. They're just misconstrued because people don't know what those are. But again, I'm 4 months. My next one will be at 5 months. And if you guys have any questions or any concerns that pregnant people want to know by now, then you guys can comment below, or you can email me, DM me on my Instagram, which is the real Camri Gorge J. And again, this is my 4-month pregnancy update.